Superstar Tom Cruise is best mates with Scientology's leader, David Miscavige. What about the church's attitude to its wonderful celebrities? And they are wonderful. John Travolta is an honorary Aussie, a great actor and by all accounts a fabulous guy. Not to mention Kirstie Alley, Juliette Lewis and of course Mr Cruise.
Aaron says he and other members opened the files of several celebrity Scientologists in order to glean information which could be used as leverage to force a greater commitment to the organisation. Some might call that blackmail.
To be a Scientologist in the Celebrity Centre, it's not that hard to run into them, but to read their files is another matter.
In his statement, he also details attempts which were made to coerce one celebrity Scientologist into having an abortion. He says the young man who impregnated the celebrity was forced from the organisation and cut off from his parents, who remained Scientologists.
Let's say she had something happen to her when she was a child that was so traumatic that in her file it indicates she's still upset about it. I'll use a story and say, look, if you come and join us, we are going to... You can stop that from happening to other people.
Right.
Ruin them,
that's
and
awful,
give them a solution.
Aaron says he accessed more than 150 files that contained personal information on followers, much of which was obtained during so-called auditing.
Yes, there is the consideration it's sacred information, but at the very moment that it becomes the greater good to reveal that for the benefit of protecting the greater body of Scientology, then that's it, the decision's made.
When one begins Scientology, there is nothing weird or space alien about it. In fact, Scientology, as seen by a newbie, is a godsend to a troubled soul.
That's one of the reasons why a lot of us work there, because we wanted to spread the word. I mean, I gained personally from Scientology, so I wanted others to make that gain.
How did you gain? What good things came of it?
It helped me handle my literacy. I had the literacy level of an 8-year-old when I was first in Scientology. I was quite unstable emotionally. I was young, I was 21. And then all of a sudden, I became literate, I became competent, I was doing the counselling, I was very happy with what I was doing for myself and for others.
Carmel Underwood is today a property developer. She got out in June last year with her husband Tim after 28 years inside.
She says that while she was working for the organisation in Sydney, she fell pregnant and was put under extreme pressure to have an abortion.
What goes through your mind when that's put to you?
I thought it was disgusting, shocking.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because I wanted to have the baby. I wasn't going to be forced, I wasn't going to be coerced into having an abortion.
Carmel says she also witnessed a young girl who had been molested by her father being coached as to what she should say to investigating authorities in order to keep the crimes secret. Carmel's husband Tim supports his wife's story and says the couple suffered serious financial hardship because of their involvement in the organisation.
With that financial hardship comes the promises paid for, yet not delivered. Do you all understand that now?
Yes.
You're not going to travel through time. You're not going to return from an implant station in 18 years to continue your 1 billion multiple life track. You know, that's not real. That's all made up. 46-year-old Kevin Mackey is a furniture maker turned grazier who spent 26 years inside Scientology before, in his words, escaping last year.
Embarrassingly, probably in total my wife and I spent close to between $1 million and $1.2 million going up the bridge. We got to the highest levels.
In the last 18 months, Kevin says he and Carmel have helped as many as 200 Scientologists see the light and leave.
I believe Scientology is a reprehensible practice, as it is practiced today. In fact, I believe Scientology, after everything I've discovered in the last 18 months about the church, is the art and practice of self-deception.
Anna and Dean Detheridge got out in 2007. Anna says she sold Scientology book sets in Sydney. Packages of books and lectures for $4,000.
Yep, $16,000 a day was pretty much my target when I was the bookstore officer.
In books and lectures?
Packages. 4 packages personally on my own. I had to sell that. Public.
The technology that it most has embraced is the technology of public relations. And it uses that extensively on its parishioners to create the environment where you will give long hours and a lot of money. And
That's correct.
That's their technology. They may have embraced no other subject as well as that one.
We may or may not be super beings, yet.
The flaws in many of Scientology's claims are obvious, like the one that it connects you directly with your past lives, going back thousands of years.
But here's the irony of it all. Out of all these thousands of people that can do a recall, not one single one of them can recall one foreign language. Even L. Ron Hubbard himself spoke about being on planets and all sorts of stuff, right? There's endless garbage of it, and he couldn't recall one piece of technology.
We approached Scientology for an interview, as they have on more than 20 occasions over the past 2 years. They refused. You can see their written response on our website, a response that fails to address any of the claims you've just heard. In it, they say all these people are disgruntled liars, exactly what they say about any ex-Scientologist who is critical. They imply they may have been paid. They have not. And they add that Senator Xenophon appears to have been pressured to make his speech.
I say to all Australians, as you fill in your tax return next July or August, ask yourself, how do you feel knowing that you're paying tax, yet this criminal organisation is not?
How surprised are you that Senator Xenophon is sticking his neck out?
Quite surprised.
Amazed.
Yeah.
Very
Why do you think he's doing it?
He cares. He does know this is a con job.
Judging by his track record in federal parliament, he's a man who honestly believes in a cause, and he's a man who hates injustice.
Finally, Scientology claims Senator Xenophon's speech is an attack on religious freedom.
In Australia, there are no limits on what you can believe, but there are limits on how you can behave. It's called the law, and no one is above it.
And we should point out that no one in that story was paid or pressured to talk. And if you'd like to tell your story about Scientology, go to the story feedback section on our website and put Scientology as the subject.